So I've come to the conclusion, just a rotten piece of fruit. So I'll end up dying slowly, rotting away. See, I just want to be able to climb without a fall, to get out of this mazeland and run. Please strike me thunder, let me get closer to the light. Please strike me thunder, so I can be great. So I've come to the conclusion, I'm just one man amongst thousands. In this world I'll allow them, sure they'll do fine without me. The chemicals in my head don't work as yours, 'cause every piece of road is a little bit of happiness.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Welcome for the rookies. We're going double this time because we are double the race. We are doubling the excitement. We are doubling the amount of headlights, and I'm just throwing things out of my mouth. Anyway, welcome for tonight's race, and we are in the oh no, okay, and we are in nighttime. We are in nighttime in there isn't a real translation in English, so I will just say it in Italian. But we are in Riviera Adriatica, in the beautiful Riviera Adriatica, very close to this to I asked for it. Very close to the sea, very close to Rimini, to Riccione. I went there. The go-kart track is very cool, to say the least. It's a very nice one, and that's all I can say about Misano. But for tonight, currently there is 21 drivers pool for the rookies tonight, and I have a massive edge, so I may be slightly less loud than the usual. Maybe a bit more calm, which will be quite a surprise, to say the least. I quite like the fact that at this point I could easily do the live in Italian and it wouldn't really change much at this point. I could do it once if I have this chance. I could do the entire live in Italian and just who cares? International streamers becomes national back again. Anyway, for qualifying, obviously I was looking in the practice, and this man here was already 8 times quicker than anyone else in practice, and for qualifying I expect a very low time. We are talking about, well, in the pros we are going for the 32 in qualifying. Here I expect a high 33 by the majority. And I expect a very low 33 by this man here. Yeah, I don't understand why he still is here. Like, James, why is he here? Move him out of the rookies, because he's too good. Honestly, his times are very, very close to the top of the pros too. And, well, I can speak because I do racing. And honestly, his time are very, very on point. So I'm quite astonished that he is still here. Also, Ian, I hope to see him tomorrow. Also, livery, good livery on track. Gonzalez sets the first fastest lap time, 34.0. But as I said earlier on, I expect someone else to cross the line. Ingrosso goes for second in the 91 BMW in the dark of the night. People go across the track. I can't really see and follow each and anyone, but for now Abused goes in second in the 19 Porsche. We will not see Tessera going fastest because his lap is not a valid one. Same goes for Chiaramonte and same goes for Mari. So apparently a couple of drivers that exceed the track limits. The track limits here are a beast. They are very very easy to pick in qualifying. In race is a bit less, but still it's quite usual to see a drive-through in the first 20 minutes of racing. So I expect someone getting a drive-through at least once. At least once. I expect someone to get one. Next Misano is... Oh, Alan Brown going a bit off. Well, more than a bit, unfortunately, because his lap was 1 second quicker than himself. And it was a very good lap. It would have put him in current 4th place. Sauter goes across the line on 9th place. want to follow someone that is going. Oh, okay, never mind. Because Federico Ingrosso goes second, 277 away, with Coco just in front of him, 300s behind. Looking a bit around, Ing goes in 4th place, Alpha second away from Paul. Pole position driver that is currently in the pits, in the 216 and going out back again. Ala Brown is back with a second on of advantage. Goes a bit off there, a bit missing the apex. Still on a good lap. I saw someone going. Okay, it was Hottie. He goes in 11th, and there has been a crash. I'm hearing gravel. I'm hearing someone that has crashed. Yep, that's him. So I think we lost Abu Said for the qualifying. No, okay, he's back. Okay, okay, never mind. He's not back. So for now we lost him 8 minutes away from the end. I think he can make it on time, at least for putting himself on the grid. Not the first time when we saw him having some connection issues. Ingrosso is currently going across the line in pole. 3 tenths of a second. Okay, never mind. Okay, no, it still is 3 tenths of a second. So he effectively goes for pole position. 33.9, the first 33 of the evening. With Buescher in the Audi number 21 going on the Quercia. For now. Then goes for Tramonto, turn 10. This one is very hard to nail correctly. It's quite an hard not hairpin to manage to get on the perfect way. Hot is currently 6 times below himself, so now 7, now nearly 8. And this will put him in 4th place, no, 5th place, just 3 milliseconds away from Ing. Gonzalez is also setting his fastest lap. And still, I'm not seeing a Tesla, because Tesla is the only driver that hasn't yet put a lap on the leaderboard. As he went off track all the time. He tried to put a lap. Gonzalez goes 2 times slower in that section. That section there is very hard. Turn 6 usually puts you a bit off the rails, mostly because you don't have to. You can't go over the curve off track. You can cut too much and get an invalid lap, and etc. etc. It's quite an hard point of the track. Possibly the hardest one, because you really have to nail it correctly without going off the track. So it's quite a challenge to get on. Mari goes for 6th, 0.7 away from Paul. Position Paul. Longden is closing the gap to at least, I think, before 4 times now in the last hairpin. Al Carro. And seems like he is managing to gain the most of the time in this very section. Last corner. Around turn 16. And he goes for, I think, second or third. 7 milliseconds away from second. And Gonzalez is currently in a sandwich of a BMW top and a McLaren behind. But Gonzalez is also improving his lap. We'll go for a lap with him. Never mind, because he went off track. Still has a couple of attempts that he can go through. As Matthew Ing in the 26 has a bit of gap to play with. Current gap will put him in 4th place. But the most important part, I think, it's the one that is about to come here in the hairpin. Al Carro. Currently Chiaramonte is 4 times below. So also looking at him. And I think we are about to cross the line in a very cool lap. The 90 Misano. last corner 4 times, so it puts him in 4th place, 150 away from pole. So very packed up top 4. Tesla still not managing to not even put a lap, because every single time it's out of bounds. So it's quite interesting to see if he will manage to get a lap at the very end. Federico Ingrosso also improving. The second I said it. Okay, he didn't even pass a whole 2 seconds of time that he went off track, so I guess it's my fault. Zilio currently 2 times below. Same goes for Hotti, and same goes for Mihai. Mihai surprise of last race, as he set a 3rd place, podium position for him. But tonight he's currently in 14th place, not really having much luck on the matter. For now, we'll stay with Alex Zilio, 9th place currently, and I saw Abused is back on track from the connection issues. I think we will recognize the cars in the team, which is, wait, did I see about it? Because I can't really see for certain. Okay, so the R&M Sim Racing cars will be quite visible from the LEDs, from the LEDs. Say it as you want, honestly, I don't care. I say LED, and no one can tell me how to say it, except someone effectively good in English. Busher is now 7, no 6, maybe 5 times below himself, and this will put him about 5th or 6th place, maybe something more, as he managed to get through the last corner with 6 times in the bag, and this puts him in 6th, so I was correct. If 8 times in front of Zilio. Tessera managed to get the lap, 33.7, enough for pole position. 2 times below is the other Italian, Federico Ingrosso, currently going through turn 1, and Gonzalez was gaining a lot, and again he went wide there. Seems like turn 6 is a real beast to battle with, considering how every single time I'm seeing a lap time going red in that very section. I'm currently flashing his light for a BMW in front of him, and I think it is Markov. Markov that is on an effective lap. Ooh, that was close between the two drivers. It was very close between the two drivers. I think it was quite clear that Tessera wanted to pass the BMW, but unfortunately the BMW is on a lap and is improving, so really nothing that could have been done except taking more space. Speaking of the BMW here, he is 5 times below. This will put him on 8th place. But for another 24, he's about to cross the line in 16th only, because he lost 3 times on the very last corner. A bit of a trouble situation there for the BMW driver. You know, the Italian here, 5 times. Kinda taking the chapter of the improvement, as he is the current fastest. Well, he's the one that is improving the most. 7 times. It would put him very close to the lead. With his Porsche, not only very close, he's flying. Abusel is currently setting nearly the fastest lap time. Getting into last corner, it doesn't go wide. He just uses the track limit as much as possible. He goes 1.2 below, and this means he goes in 6th. Wait, what? Ah, no, okay. I clearly... Okay, something went terribly wrong in my race control because it was showing me that he was 1.3 seconds below himself. So I'm not really sure about what happened, but he went in 6th. Nonetheless, possibly a race control mistake. Currently with the Italian there. Oh, he goes wide. Oh, he goes red. So lap time not valid. He just set a single lap time, I think. A valid one. The only one was 33.7. So now Ingrosso has effectively the chance to put himself in pole, but it will not happen as he goes less than a tenth. Less than a tenth faster. So we went for I didn't make it on time. Dive. Okay. So again, sorry if tonight I'm a bit less loud because I'm noticing it. Just that I'm not very okay tonight. Not sure why. So I'm a bit less energetic. To the least, just a bit of headache. But nothing too messy for to think about. But anyway, we go for the usual drone lap with the magic of organization, because for once I reset everything up. Never mind what I was about to say. I just have to do this because otherwise it's a problem. Okay, so we'll go for a quick lap around Misano. So we go into turn 1. If I can just take it correctly, this one here. Okay, thank you. So we'll go into turn 1. Usually you tend to brake here in the 50 marker to go all the way into the inside. It's very hard to see for tonight, effectively. This here you usually try to take it in second or first, depending on your car. Here you can cut across very much, but not too much, otherwise you cannot drive through. For exceeding track limits, it's not really a news. This track is very easy to take one. 50 bollard onto the inside. You brake basically over the curb into turn 4 and turn 5. There you stay as much on the inside as possible to then cut into turn 6 there, cutting as much as possible, because even there track limits are a thing. So you just have to nail the correct distance between you and the off track. Then the back straight all the way down until turn 8, which is the Quercia. You brake on the 100, just after the 100, all the inside into gear number 1 and then 2 for having more rotation, or you just use 2 to be safe. Then here you usually brake straight with a lot of trail braking into Tramonto, into turn 10. And then the other straight, which is not really a straight because in the middle there is the Curvone, which is turn 11. Possibly the fastest bit of the racetrack. That goes all the way, forming a T in the racetrack. Maybe I can see the sea from here. Oh yeah, it's possible. Oh look, I raced there in the racetrack. That's very cool. Okay, I will do it later. I distract very easily. Here it's flat, 6th gear, all the way here. You never brake except here. Very close to the inside, and then you want to brake about here for il carro, turn 14. And then here you can go very much over the curb with certain cars and with certain setups, all the way into the red zone to use the it's not in the AstroTurf, but you took the what I'm trying to say, and then into the start finish line. Si vede la 14, aspetta, vado a vedere. Chiamo Telepass, vediamo se mi vedono. I just want to go into the I'm just burning the time at the moment. I'm just searching for the cart track. He's around there. Unfortunately, it's not daytime. Otherwise, it would have been quite cool to see the sea from here. But you can see here. Oh no, it's not in high resolution. Oh, this is Terrible. It's terrible news. This corner here is fabulous because you basically have to... Oh, here is when someone went straight into me. Ha. Okay, I have to go here. Okay, we'll just stay into the helicam. Kind of nice to be seen here. Honestly, night racing is possibly the best thing to do. It's very cool. You see the headlights, you see the LEDs, you see the drivers, you see a bit of... It's a bit harder, considering that you have to nail the braking points, the acceleration points, the overtakes. Basically blind, except for your tiny little light bulbs in front of your car. But night racing is a thing that has to be done more frequently, especially in endurance racing. For now it's 1-2 with a Honda and a BMW. And then there is an Aston and a McLaren, so top 4 is with 4 different cars. We saw the fifth car just in 6th place in an Audi, and then a Porsche in 7th with a Lamborghini in 9th. So 9 places have already 6 cars. Wait, I can count. No, 7 cars. Okay, basically I can't count. It's quite easy. Formation lap is now over, and I'm kind of having fun with doing the drone. I'll be honest. No reason why, but I just find it cool. I will not use it for the race start because I can get distracted by everything and have a bit of a run for a disaster. Can I do it this on time? Okay, I'm literally the best person in the world right now. Okay, so we're going for a start from long dance point of view, and green light, and away we go. And long dance, speaking of which, he was very slow on the start with the Audi there already trying the overtake. It's free wide into turn 1. Oh, I think there is no contact, luckily. I think someone there maybe have contact. There is definitely a 4-way battle into turn number 4. And it's free wide into turn 4. Oh, it's a crash! Oh, it's a big one! Oh, it's a big one! And I think Busher has been completely annihilated by the world, and more cars have been involved in a crash, without saving one of them. And I'm seeing that it is free wide into turn 6. With some cars that have to go into other places. On the grass he goes. I think it is brown. I think it's free wide into Quercia. We are going free wide into Quercia. That's not a good idea with London outbraking everyone, even himself as he goes wide. And I think the Honda of Sauter will have the position with Longden having to battle for his 14th now against a BMW, and it does so. BMW that gets overtaken by Brown too, so it was Chiaramonte getting swapped position, and now Hungary side by side with Mari in the 46. Shuffle of position that has changed radically the course of the events for the starting grid, with a lot of drivers being involved. We will see the incident after a couple of seconds, minutes. Not really sure how much I want to set it out, but I think I can see it now because it's, I won't say calm, but it's a nice moment to put it out. The BMW was the number 21 getting involved in a crash, the one that hasn't been collected. Okay, you can see here there's been, oh, there was an Aston Martin. It was Matthew Ing, and then there was so long then getting crashed by, I think it was Abu Said in the Porsche. So definitely the first big one of the evening. It's already happened with Mihai that has now gained 4th position, Markov 6, and Hot is now in 5th place from 9th where he started from. Abu Said is now very close to the BMW in front of him, but unfortunately the Porsche has quite some troubles into race pace. He has to outbrake him. He tries to do so, but I think it's Sauter that outbreaks the BMW. And in fact, the BMW number 55 is now behind Sauter. British driver that gets overtaken by another British driver. Bit of internal battle between the two drivers. Oh, I think the BMW is there. Okay, I think now the problem is Longden. Not even. It's Brown going wide and gets overtaken by a BMW. It's Chiaramonte currently trying the inside. But I think nothing will really change. He goes on the inside, we go from Helicam because I don't know what happened, and nothing really has happened between the two drivers, with Chiaramonte maintaining his position. But you go back into the splitter view, so you can see the train of drivers that goes across the final part of the racetrack. We're going to Misano, into turn 16. But I think now that someone that has to be seen is Aston Martin there. We are currently into just after la variante del parco. We're going to turn 4. Oh, if it is, I think it's a bit wide, well, more than a bit. He maintains the position, it's very easy to maintain it here. Oh, never mind what I said. He goes over the curb, unsettles the car, and I think the position has been given to the Italian without any real issue. And now it's Zilio. The next problem is tries the outside, and if it works, it's a very nice move. From the Helicam we see Terry Hotti is now on the outside, and this means that Zilio effectively gets on the inside. And same goes for the Aston. It's Mihai taking a bit of road for himself with a little contact between the two drivers. And now Hotti is back in 8th from 5th at the beginning of the lap. So a huge loss of position for the Finnish driver. That is now being attacked by the by Romagnolo in the other Audi. So it's two drivers in an Audi. Unfortunately, one of them has heavy damage on his car already. Tesla goes for fastest lap, 33.4, currently even faster than his qualifying time. Not really a surprise by this point. So we go from Zilio's swing, because from here you can see all the drivers between the already open for possible damage repair. As speaking of which, is Buscher gaining the position on Mari, having some real troubles in his car, because he has been losing position for a bit. I was seeing the race control while the overtakes were happening. The 46 car is having a bit of a halt in these initial stages of the race. If you're considering the Audi has some trouble in the front of his car. Tried inside nevertheless, and I think it was a bit too optimistic, and in fact he gets overtaken by one, maybe two cars. No, because Brown stays behind, so no overtakes happen. No overtake happens for the Italian number 46. Well, not a second one at least. Speaking of Italians, it's Coco in the 554. Currently the first of this pack, because the top 4 is basically all gapped for a way or another, with Tesla setting fastest lap times after fastest lap times, Ingrosso being in the 34.0, Gonzalez being off a couple of times. Oh wait, that's Zilio off on the grass he went, and Romagnolo tries the undercut, the massive undercut, a bit too extreme even. No, way too extreme, to be honest. It's just too early for a pit. I don't know why. I mean, Misano is hard to overtake sometimes. This is definitely not one of those times, because the track is dry. There are multiple spots to have an overtake. Contact between two drivers. I think it was Abu Said and Marco. Weming, someone is dead. Who Longden is off? Longden is definitely not on track. So from the distance something happened to the 328. But some more contact here is happening, as Markov gets overtaken by Sauter too. And there's definitely been some contact among the cars, as Brown is now on the side of Longden and catch the overtake for the 17th. But I want to see back what happened here from the Helicam, if I can. So you can see here is the portion inside. Definitely a bit too optimistic. He puts him back on track, but I don't know how much Markov was happy about the hole. And then there's been something else. No, okay, I think it's the same. Definitely think it's the same one. In fact, the Porsche goes into the pits. But now I think I can go here into Longdance POV because I want to see if he got, if I can manage to take it on time, because you can see the two cars in front there having some troubles. Oh, he collected the grass, and you can see what happened next. Surely the wall was one of the protagonists of the scene. Markov still trying to get back the position, at least on Sauter, who got the position on the Quercia. Okay, this camera is terrible. I have to go away from it because it's just terrible using Helicam, just too easy. The action is on track. Currently the 21 drivers, with Romagnolo being the first one of the pitted drivers. So not really. Oh, I think we hired a terrible exit. It's Hoti now trying the overtake into this very section there on the side. It goes. A lot of courage to be taken there to make an overtake, because it's a very easy place to make a mistake, either by the attacker or by the defending driver. Gonzalez isn't a bit okay, never mind. I saw a yellow flag. And no contact has happened, so everything went smoothly. For now it's Zilio and Coco still in a bit of a battle, and we are now into the 20 minutes. Remember that there are two races. Okay, I think here is... Oh no, normally it went in repeats, that's why. Remember there is... it's a double header, this one here. So... after this one there is the revenge for some drivers, and the redemption for many other. Markov, battle of BMW, with I think Thompson having definitely a quicker shot than the 24. Consider that Sauter is taking another racing line. That was definitely the Williams esports line, I think. So using pro strategies definitely works. The triple BMW sandwich here is kind of sending themselves apart once again. But I'm quite curious to see Romagnolo's tactic, because at this point I'm not really sure if it can work. Honestly, I don't think so. Speaking for experience, it's just an objective analytics of the events. Damage repair has been done to Romagnolo though, it has to be said. Gonzalez seems like he missed the pit box altogether. And huge repair for Longden, still with 30 seconds at least of damage. He got 26 seconds of damage. And Mari some too, with Abu Said having 20. So it was the insights brought to you by... No, give me a sponsor. But anyway. Ah yeah. I should stop doing giving them the microphone hits. Like, I can hear them and it's just terrible. But anyway, we are still here with a little battle. I think here is also the battle with Markov Thompson and Chiaramonte, with the British driver very close to the 24. Black and white, FRL liveried BMW, missing the brake a bit. But I mean, definitely a better exit than the Markov. Oh, he goes on the inside, a bit too optimistic. It is not optimistic. It is in fact a very precise move, chirurgically speaking, and he goes into the inside into the hairpin al tramonto. But I don't think Markov is happy with the situation. He tries the inside, he goes on the grass, sparks flying by, the diffuser still on the inside. No contact between the drivers. Never mind, there has been a contact. Markov goes wide with Thompson on the inside into the hairpin. It's the carro. Al carro, the answer goes into Markov's position as he stays on the inside. Thompson tries the cutback. It doesn't happen. it is indeed Markov being the victorious one, with Thompson staying behind. Not even, but even he nearly got overtaken by the Italian just behind. It's Chiaramonte that was trying a bit of an opportunistic move while he was there. Romagnolo with faster tires is currently attacking the Aston driver. So the 54 now having a chance to make an overtake. That's having a chance and a half. Well, not even to be asked for. And Romagnolo goes up one into the current 16th, but it could very well be the 4th place, as in front of him there is, well, 13 seconds apart, but there are Gonzalez and Ingrosso. They were P2 and 3 prior to the pit stop phase. Now Mihai still stays behind. I think all tires have, they have their contribution, obviously, being just slower at the beginning of the stint, and Romagnolo used the undercut to his advantage for now, but he still has to do 15 minutes with his tires, while the others are just starting to heat them up. We'll get back here because I think the Audi, even with damages, it still wants to get there, at least one up, at the very least. Currently the Audi there, it's Buscher that goes into the pit. He undercuts the Aston, the Beat. Wow, that's definitely an Aston. Yep, the BMW. And I think the Audi driver was clearly, there's been another contact. I can see that something happened there. Into, oh, pit stop phase, and the BMW bonk. Yep, and he stopped in the middle of the way. So Markov having some damage in the rear because he got bumped by Thompson, who now has clear front damage. Still using the Spot 24 livery, by the way. It's a very nice one, but we are very close to another 24 livery, so now it's Hungary, and okay, from this perspective, I thought also Hungary is drifting away, and that was a very nice one. It's consistently what I'm seeing. I think he's lagging a bit. I think he was lagging a bit. I want to see back. Certo. It's just too good for us. I think he lagged a bit. It was. Yeah, tanto fumare! Collab with Guido Meda when? But for now, the pit phase seems to be close to an halt, as Matthew Ing, Alex Zilio, Harry Hottie, and Mark Stewart are the last ones to have a pit stop, with Chiaramonte now in the 721 into the pit lane. Statistic wise, there has been some damage for some cars. Gonzalez missed the pit box, so 3 seconds have been lost. Romagnolo repaired the car, but it was already something. Mihai doesn't seem to have made anything else apart from change tires. Marco with no repairs. Marco did repair the car. Same goes for Buscher. Okay. Thompson did 20 seconds of repair, and I think that's it, more or less. Yep. The real news were said. So we'll go now here because Mihai is a bit of a he's getting closer to, I think, to Romagnolo now. So the gap has been obviously have been widened up as the time passed. But now it sees Markov and Chiaramonte, one after the other. Chiaramonte is now in front of Markov after the pit issue, to say the least. Markov clearly asking politely the BMW driver in front of him to let him pass. I don't think the request will be taken forward by the Italian. Well, not at least on a voluntary basis. So now it's half a second, flashing the lights, the Filippi mood. Also, in nighttime, that's a cool thing. You can just flash the light as much as you want because they are seen and they are threatening. Speaking of the 24-hour earlier on, it's getting closer and closer to Watkins 24, and I can't wait to see it because it will be a good round. But first, there are two other endurance. There is the 6 hours of Monza, of which I will be taking part, and the 4 hours of Brents, which I don't know, maybe I could take part on that too, I don't know at this point, and that will be the 24-hour, which I hope to have a shot there, because for now it's still a question mark, but a lot of divers will take part, that's for sure. And instead of Spa we are doing the best track, because Watkins Glen is definitely the best track. Shake my head. Markov goes on the inside, utilizes. Oh, never mind. It's Chiaramonte trying to outbreak the BMW, but he is on the outside, and Markov clearly doesn't leave any space for Chiaramonte to play with. But everything is legal there, to be honest, because until you are in the racetrack, it's okay. And he had the position, so Chiaramonte just had to stay there and battle. But remember that Markov has damage, and I think Chiaramonte doesn't. I think, because I may have missed certain points during the fights. Now there is a bit of a battle for 13th place, with Chiaramonte and Mari just behind him, with the rain light popping up. Not really sure why. Wait, something that is not really seen usually is the wing going up and down in the straight. It's a very nice thing to be seen. I think even for the damage, to be honest. It's something that not a lot of sim racing games have, especially the high profile ones. I want to go here because now Hot is in front of Ing with the car that has been repaired. 10 seconds of repairs have been taken by Matthew Ing, that now is attacking the Lambo. Lambo clearly faster on a straight, but the Aston is faster, period. And now it's a bit of a... Wait. Did I miss? Oh! Okay, a drive-thru has happened while I wasn't looking, because I was very focused on the drivers, but you can see in 15th place there is a name that wasn't expecting to be there. It's a drive-thru for exceeding track limits that has been taken by the Spaniard, now in 15th place. So now Gonzalez is in 15th, all the way down the grid for exceeding track limits. And I think it's the first one of the pack to have gone through. No, Brown 2. Brown 2 had a drive-thru for exceeding track limits. Unfortunately, with this graphic, I can't see the penalties, and neither can I see them from the race control. Oh, I think that was close between the two drivers there. It was very close there. I want to see it back, because you can see the Aston Martin of Fing very close to the rear, not touching it, but 26 is now a bit off the finish driver. So we go back here, and I think now no, okay, I want to stay here, from the wing stay, oh, on the grass, I think he's looking at the mirror too much. We'll change a bit of view from the passenger seat, which is not the passenger seat, but it's clear what I wanted to say. Oh, Longley is off into the grass. Chiaramonte is getting overtaken by the Aston. it is Mario on the inside that takes the position over the number 721. And then we go back here, looking at the drivers battling for 5th place. Bit of gap has been put between the drivers. Meanwhile, the Audi with damage doesn't seem to. Oh, he went into the inside. No contact, but I think the Honda definitely had a hit. Something as possible contact has been shown, but I definitely want to see back what happened. From the helicam here, no contact between the drivers. But I don't think contact has happened. It says that contact has happened, but it was a very, very, very close one, if anything. With the Audi having the inside and the very, basically, surprise attack by the German driver that goes into 9th place, with Sauter just behind now, keeping the car in one piece, at least. But staying now in 10th place, and he has to attack back the Audi, and I don't think the Audi will be defenseless. Now the 26, the 22 having still a battle of their own, going out of Tramonto into Curvone. It's the 11th turn. A bit of gap has been created. Back again. Seems like there is a bit of a oh, never mind what I was about to say, because the Lamborghini went a bit off Al Carro. On the inside it stays, but cutback move for the Aston. And there is now the Aston Martin on the inside. It takes the position. Lamborghini tries the cutback, but nothing can be done. And now the 26 is effectively in front of the Lamborghini. So the finish is now in 6th place, with Matthew Hing getting at least 5th place back. So this puts our focus of the attention back behind, because it's Mihai and Romagnolo having a bit of a fight. Now, effectively Romagnolo is now behind Mihai, but I think I lost the reason of which it happened. Still looking at the drive, it doesn't seem to that there is any. So now the 17 is in front of the 54. It seems like I've lost it during the battle for 5th, at least I think. But I'm very curious to see this battle for the podium, because Alex Ziliu and Michele Coco are currently fighting for a podium. 3/10 of a second the distance between the drivers, both Italians, both in an Aston, so the real variable is their talent and their skill. With Mihai now on the inside, Stacy on the inside in defense against Romagnolo. I think he will try the inside there on Carro. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Mari may do so. Passenger seat for us. Sparks flying by. Kamari stays behind. He doesn't try an attack there. Maybe in the very last part, maybe in turn 1. Alla variante. We may see something. For now, I want to stay also here. Speaking of variante del parco, here we are. Mihai, still a bit of a... Oh, I think it's a bit wider. Just a tiny bit. Nothing too extreme. But the Aston is still having some issues, I would say, because you can see how wide he is going. Compared to the Italian. Bit of a difference between them. Is Romagnolo that may try inside there? No, he doesn't. Still he doesn't. Very close to the Aston though. Very much in close proximity. I think Mihai is basically slowing him down, as there is also Buescher gaining from the two drivers, chasing one another. Now I think Mihai have kind of lost more than a couple of times. As we go here with Gonzalez going a bit wide, probably trying to get the position as soon as possible, kind of shooting the chance. And the two Aston Martin here is still battling still for third. As for now, it doesn't seem like it's going to be a rush for position. It's the second to last lap, so still 2 laps to go. So 30 minutes of racing brought you very much a shuffle of every single position except for 3. The major one, the major shuffle has been long then. 15. Oh, Chiaramente is into the pit. I drive through for exceeding track limits. I suspect. Because now Chiaramente is into the pits. So I think drive through for exceeding track limits for Chiaramonte. And he was in 13th place. Now he clearly isn't anymore. He's showing us a DNF. So I suspect he went into the pit at the very end, considered he would have been a lap down, more or less. Because he flashing the light against the green livered car. Remember that it's Hungary there. And he may help his teammate. I hope not, but it may happen. As Tesla goes for the final kilometers of the racetrack. Will he win? Well, will he win? I think at this point it's more when. But it's going to be either way a lockup, an Italian lockup on the Italian racetrack. It's going to be at least the first 3 positions with an Italian name, maybe even 4. So it will be an Italian lockup. I think it's something that I'm proud about. But the question is, which name will be the 3rd one? More than anything. Lots of close gap in all the leaderboard. You can see there is a battle for 3rd, for 7th, for nearly the rear getting destroyed. But it was close. But I want to see here. Okay, no, seems like the Aston is very far ahead. Battle for 7th, battle for 11th, 12th, 14th, and 17th place. So Misano has to have more races. That's something I will always say. Misano doesn't get the attention it needs. That inside has a bit of a lunch, last minute lunch. But we'll go here because Giacomo Tessera to I think it's every single race, if I remember correctly. But he goes into the start finish line to conclude in first, in the first of the 2 races into the Riviera Adriatica GP. And if whoever says San Marino, it's a ban for you. Ooh, I think there is a mistake there. Ingrosso goes in second, but the battle is still here for 3rd. But I think it's going to be the 554, the victorious one. In fact, it is, with Matthew Hing just behind. So it's Coco, Zilio, and then Hing in 5th, with Hotti in 6th place, with Mihai in front of the Italian, using the Verstappen strategy to try to get as much as possible. Thompson is off at the very last minutes. I think there's been a contact somewhere. Sauter goes in 10th, Markov in 11th, Luca Mari in 12th. Javier Gonzalez, unfortunately, just in 13th after the drive-thru. Abu Said in 14th. No, maybe not. Okay, Thompson in 14th. Because Abu Said just crashed the seconds away from... Okay, Abu Said is in 14th. Okay, no. He made... Did he made it? I don't know. He's not showing to the leaderboard here, but there he is. So he is 15th there. I will take it as good. Thompson in 14th. De Bartoli in 16th. Longden in 17th. Stewart in 18th. Brown in 19th. Chiaramonte in 20th. And Hungary in 21st. And apparently he made it. Just in time. Just in time, but Abu Said made it in 14th before the crash. At the very least. I want to see back the incident between a couple of drivers. Here there is a 328 and a 96. They were battling for position. Into the Quercia. There's been different contact between Stewart and Longden. He's also Thompson going wide, well, more than a bit wide. He lost the car on the very late moment there, but he did it all alone while he was on the inside. So it's an Italian lockup. Top 3 position are all Italian. So we'll go into race number 2 without a driver because unfortunately Abu Said has crashed the second he crossed the line, but there is no mid race join, so we'll just go ahead with 20 drivers only for race number 2. But very close racing up until now. It's going to be a second race. In my opinion, it will be a very nice one. Maybe the timer simply shorten it. As I think we can wait until next year before the second race starts. But we saw a huge amount of overtakes in action just moments after the first pit stop phase was over. So we're going for race number 2 in a couple of minutes. Kinda the gap between P1 and P3, there has been 8 seconds between first and second, and another 16th second between second and third. So effectively Coco had a 24-second gap, no, 25, half second comprehensive. Well, usually race 2 is a bit more safe, considered drivers know where to brake and know how to brake. They're a bit more conservative in every single matter. Honda, BMW, Aston. With an Aston, well, more than an Aston, we started with 7 different cars. 7 different cars in the first 9 places. We'll start with a Porsche less, so we'll go with 6 different cars in the first 9 places. Still good to see a Lamborghini in the racetrack, even if it's not really the fastest one. 2 minutes and 30 seconds before start of the formation. So we are going to ultime parole famose. Vabbè, posso sempre dire tutto regolare fino a questo momento, poi vediamo cosa succede. But we'll go for race number 2 with the same lockup, well, the same qualifying as earlier on. I think Gonzalez will be way more conservative for this one, considering he was the one that took a drive-through. But the drive-through is not really something so impossible to be taken. It's quite easy, and it will be a surprise to see some other big names get involved into the track limit hell that is Misano, because unfortunately Misano is a bit like Kota. So there is the track limit, but they are very easy to be picked up. Like in Kota is easy, but to be honest, I never really had that much difficulty to just stay on track. Just that if you go 1 millimeter away, you don't have the chance to slow yourself down. That's the problem. That's the main problem of Kota and Misano. If you go off track, you instantly have one. The main problem is that in Misano, when you go al carro, if you cut the first one and you go like if you go out of just before carro on the outside, you get 2 consecutive track limit violations, which is unfair. Not really sure why, but it counts you as 2 different violations, and that's how you get a drive-through majority of time. And also in 216. 216 is very easy because you can cut too much or going too wide too much, and then the result is basically you crying because you get a drive-through for no effective reason. I like that Gonzalez is answering me on chat in the race chat, because by mistake I kept it on. I have also to take this one here. But okay. So we're going to race in a short time. Starting to see the headlights going on for some cars. I expect to see all the lights in, I think, 30, maybe 20, I'm not really sure. Già quando Tessera will be on pole, tempi in bullying la punti. Così che necessary. It's more about the fact that some tracks have too much track limits and some tracks are like the first one that comes to my mind about track limits that are completely, they are not mandatory, they are more like suggestions. I think Spa is very easy to just go flat out and going. There are a couple of tracks that it's very easy to not really take an off track. There is Suzuka 130R, you can really go straight and no one will tell you anything. You cut more corners when you cut too much. No, it's effectively Misano is very difficult, I would say, because here in turn 6, if you go too straight to narrow, it's okay, but if you go wide and you lose time over the curb and you even get a track limit, I'm angry. Honestly speaking. Same goes for Kota. If you go wide and you lose time and you also get a track limit, why? Just wait. Then there is Bafus that one time I went basically on the gravel and straight on and I didn't get a drive-through. A track limit violation, but different way to take the track. Oh, luckily there is just a couple of mentions, because effectively when you think about track limits, the first example of bad track limits are just Kota and Misano, to be honest. It's not like, it's, at least this is probably not the opposite one. So like when you can just cut across and not having any repercussion, that's a bit that's the other way around, that is even as bad if not more, like something Daytona Williams. I still think it was quite funny that the track limit there is not a thing, like why? Also split one, there isn't like a race steward to see that everything goes correctly, no, It was too much to pay for. That's a rant that will go underneath for an endurance race in the future. For today we are talking about cars in the night, as the cars are currently putting themselves into the starting position, with Longden back again in 4th. Maybe this time we will see him going at least 20 meters without any real problem. I hope so, at least, considering that he is very close to the top and he's improving quite a lot in the late. I would say the last races have been quite an improvement for the British driver, Nigel Longden. But for now we're going to start. I think the Binvu is a bit cheeky there. Okay, no, in fact he goes back to a ideal position. And there is the Audi that is very close to Longden. That's for sure. And green light, and away we go with the Audi again with a perfect start. But I don't know if it's going to be a jump start. The Audi now tries into the inside, doesn't touch anything, maybe touch someone. Longden goes a bit off. I think so, the Audi gets the position of Longden. Very clear move by Buescher. As a result, I was saying, between Tessera and Ingrosso there for the first position, with Ingrosso trying to take it inside the line. He does so, and the Audi does too. Buescher on the inside, he takes third place for the Audi driver. Oh, he goes a bit off. I went a bit off, and I think that is a big one because I'm seeing just yellow behind. But we will see what happens later on. As for now, there is a bit of a battle there for 4th place. With, you can see Tessera on the inside, Buescher on the inside too. It takes the majority of the inside. Oh, contact between two drivers, and I think it's Coco on the loose side, with Matthew Ing going into the inside of the Audi driver. A bit too much, definitely a bit too much. And in fact, it's the Audi retaking back the 4th place, with Gonzalez now just behind Ingrosso. Well, not behind, he's actually in front now, but he's from the outside. Can he make it stick? And the answer is possibly yes. In fact, he does so. Meanwhile, here is side by side between two drivers It is for 5th place, no contact. Oh, there's been contact there. It's Gonzalez going out because the BMW tries the inside. It does so, it doesn't get contact. Maybe something happens behind. Maybe it's not it's not the case. So Coco gets a position on Ing, back again, and Gonzalez gets a position on. Well, loses the position on Ingrosso. That kind of pushes him away. It's been a multiple cars incident, but I want to see later on, as I think for now it's better to stay here. I'm always in time to see back what happens on the start. You can clearly see Dustin still wants to take the advantage on the position. It's Busher very close to the top 4. I think he's about to get overtaken by Zilio. It is the case. You can see the 96 goes past. No, he doesn't. Oh, that's really covering the inside as much as possible. Meanwhile, Ingrosso and okay, Helicam here because it's easier. Gonzalez on the inside, alla Quercia, with Busher just staying there, kind of VIP spectator view for the Audi, for the German driver. Now on the outside, he has to stay in a better position because that one was terrible. Oh, I think Coco really was close, not even close. I think he touched a bit the Audi. No incident altogether because now you can see the BMW very close to Ingrosso. No, it's the opposite. It's Ingrosso very close to Gonzalez. Oh, sparks flying by. BMW on the inside, it's the same situation as earlier on. The BMW still on the inside, a bit of track limits for the Aston, a bit of gravel for the Aston too. It's free wide! Not really, it's free wide, it's too wide. And the Audi takes the position on the Spaniard. More contact between the two drivers. And it's Javier Gonzalez having still the inside into I think it was turn 15. The Audi definitely late on the brakes in 16, and he gets overtaken by 2 cars, and it's Busher now in 6th place behind Ing and Coco. Speaking of Ing, now very close to trying to take the advantage on Coco, but it doesn't seem to happen. And I think now I have a bit of chance to take back what the incident that happened earlier on in the very initial stages. And I want to go at least here because the 17 has been involved in some contacts. You can see from the Helicam what happened. And you can see there to Domi High. Okay, no, not really sure. Thank you for nothing. But you can see there's been a BMW train inside there. Nothing that could have really been done. Oh, it's Longden. Oh, it was Longden going across the track. Nigel Longden. It was Nigel Longden getting contact with Hoti. Yep, it was into turn 5, and then some cars have been involved in the incident. Another contact has happened between. I think we saw all of them. I think so. Matthew Ing still very close to Coco in front. You know, Busher that has to defend for 6th place. He went from battling for a podium to battling for top 5 to not even close to top 5, and he has to defend for 6th at the very least. 33.5. Okay, now Tesla has taken away just like a rocket ship without any real trouble. Thank you, Jeff, for saying that pit window is open. Zilio now can clearly see from here. Oh, this view is fantastic in nighttime. This view is really fantastic to be seen. The 31 car just in front there is actually gaining a bit on Ing in this section. The rear going a bit over rev, and this may give the opportunity to Mihai to get a position after the start. First full position that didn't change altogether. But definitely some changes have happened from 7th downward, with Coco having a blast of a start since the start of the race. And now I think Gonzalez is very close to Ing. You can see here the 216. Maybe he wants to overtake back Al Carro. 216, no, very close there, you can see. Nothing really happens. Meanwhile, here it is Brown making the position on Hungary at the very least. So we'll stay back there. There's been a couple of overtakes behind. Unfortunately, I had to stay here for view purposes. Markov, Brown and Hottie are already into the pit for possibly repairing the car, I suppose. I want to sit back, if I can. The battle between the 91 and the 216, if I can make it. Not sure which one of the... Okay, maybe I found it. It was this one here that has happened earlier on. You can see it was the overtake for second, with the BMW taking a bit of space over the Spaniard, and then going on the inside al carro. And now the Spanish driver is behind the Italian. Very close, even. But I think that Aston has more than the BMW, with damage, a bit of damage. Okay, this was close. I think we can go here to... Oh no, here, on the diffuser cam, brought to you by me. No, I'm just trying to invent stuff at this point. But Ingrosso is in the 91, spark flying by. The BMW is very, very, very low to the ground, as I think it's... Oh, he goes a bit off the racing line, and it gives the Spanish driver a chance to put it into second. Lots of damages that has been repaired by the cars behind, because I'm clearly seeing that Longden is still in the pits. 26 seconds of damage for Longden. Not really anything that has been repaired by Markov, Brown and Hottie. It was just a undercut of biblical dimension, just to go away from the traffic. So Longden was the effective only driver to have damage being repaired. Kind of noticeable for the future part of the second part of the race. Now I think Ingas, well, he's lapping a 10 faster than Coco, and Gonzalez is basically lapping the same lap time as Ingrosso at this very point. One thing or another considered. 2011, flat out al curvone, and then al carro si va. No, I started speaking in Italian. Sorry. I go usually in first / second gear, but you arrive there in sixth, so it's a huge braking point, braking zone while turning, so you need a lot of tail braking. Sauter goes in 9th because Thompson has went in the pits. Okay, that's reasonable. I think that Bartoli has to say something to Stewart, and Stewart goes into the pits, so I think he whispered to his ear to go away, and apparently it worked. For now the battles on track are between Ingrosso Gonzalez, Buscher Zilio, and Markov Brown, but the pit stop phase may have shuffled the deck way more than a bit. Chiaramente Romagnolo too. Romagnolo that this time doesn't go for the undercut, for the undercut of the undercuts, because it was very early. Some other driver went in at the very early stages. For now I want to go here also, because if you can see that Romagnolo is very close to his teammate. Chiaramente Romagnolo, the two teammates battling for position for the 9th place, and I'm not really sure if there will be any... Okay, the second has said it. Chiaramente went very wide to the hairpin, and this gave Romagnolo the chance to get the overtake done in a matter of, well, a second. It was a very... Oh, Ingrosso is off! Oh, Ingrosso is off! For real! I thought he went into the pits, but he went off effectively. I can see back what happened from the interior, and he's now in third from second. The reason is attributed by the fact that he went on the curb a bit too aggressively. He kept the car, went on the grass and lost the position on the Spanish driver. So this now puts Ingrosso in third place, the Spanish driver in second, and Mari is... Why the lag spike? Not really sure. This gives Mari the chance to get in 15th, which is not really sure which position. So we'll just go by sheer, maybe. Maybe doing like this helps a bit. Markov is the first one of the pitted drivers. So effectively Markov is the current leader of the race. But I think Sauter and Coco will put their name as leaders of the pitted cars. Maybe. Maybe not. I think Coco, at least Coco has to. But for now, Mari is very close to Ian Thompson. Cesara goes into the pits. Markov is now 5 seconds away from Coco, but the 55 kinda stays in the middle of the racetrack. Not really giving the chance to his opponents to make a chance. Meanwhile, Ing, and I think it is Brown. It is indeed Brown, with Ing that has just exited the pit lane. Okay, no. Okay, so not really sure why Tesla is showing a yellow flag. Classic Assetto Corsa things. But Tesla is in the pit. So Matthew Ing now 3 times away from Brown. This is a very nice battle to be seen. Not really sure why it's showing Tesla with yellow flags, even because this way I can't see the pit. But I'm sure it's happening. We'll go back here from Brown's swing. So altogether I think Ing has more raw pace. Probably is that Brown... Oh, I think that Aston Martin is a bit off. Where did he go? He went into the gravel. Definitely too much speed for Ing. I want to see it back what happened from the interior, because you can see that he didn't really brake. Yep, you have to brake 20 minutes earlier, and he definitely didn't do so. Even more considering he was in a slipstream situation. So now Ing is getting targeted by Sauter, 1.2 away. Apparently the pit lane counter went into flames. I lost something here. Why is this Tessera and Coco? So Coco is, I think, is a drive-thru. I think Coco went for drive-thru for exceeding track limits. And he was in 4th, while Tessera is just in the pits. I'm not sure what happened, but now Gonzalez is the leader of the race. I'm not really sure. DSQ? Don't know, let me see. Yes, it's been DSQ, and Coco had a stop and go penalty too for going into the pits too quickly. What is happening? So Coco is effectively off the race too, and Coco and Tessera. And what? My brain can't. How has it been DSQ'd? How is it even possible? Did he went backwards in the pit by mistake? I'm not really sure at this point. But it gives Javier Gonzalez the lead of the race, and Ingrosso is very much behind. But Gonzalez didn't make the pit yet, that's why. So Gonzalez, Zilio, Romagnolo, and Chiaramonte still have to pit. Ingrosso did, and Mihai is now exiting. So this view is now completely useless because it's not really helping. This is not even working. No. So I'm not really sure how the leader has been DSQ'd. And Coco has had first a drive-thru for exceeding track limit, then a stop and go 30 for going too quickly into the pit. So the two names very important for the progress of the race are now out, and they are the mega speed out of pit. The first thing that comes to my mind is that he put reverse by mistake. He accelerated because the disc Q happens only if you really go like 1,000 kilometers per hour off the pit, or because you go reverse. There aren't many other reasons to this queue. Or because you literally cut across the track. But I can't know because I don't have any number. 5883 is not shown into the race control. By any mean, 883, maybe I can see something. Lap completed, lap completed. There isn't anything. I'm searching. But I don't have any clue what happened. So we'll go back in racing, and now Ingrosso is 2 tenths just behind the leader. So this is the battle for the win. With Ingrosso on the inside, he goes alla Quercia. Oh, I think Romagnoli is off. Oh, there's been an incident behind. We'll go back up. Oh, more contact between the drivers. We'll go from the wing. As Gonzalez is from the outside, he tries to take the position from a bit of a difficult position. He tries the cutback. The cutback works. More contact. Because at this point you can see the Aston on the inside. I think the Aston wants to keep it. No, the Aston stays behind the BMW. They are very close to each other. The Aston is on the inside. It stays where he is. The BMW is off the track, so it's track limit violation. That's definitely a track limit violation, maybe 2 even. Bit of grass being touched. But I want to see back what happened. There has been a huge incident among 4 drivers. Something huge has happened here. Can I make it on time before these two make an overtake? Please tell me so. So there's been here a contact. There's also been here. So let me see if these do. Okay, no. So I want to see back what happened here. Oh, there's been contact between Ian Thompson and Romagnolo. I think it was. It was Romagnolo. So that's the incident that has happened between Romagnolo and Thompson. They were, I think, in 10th or around there. With Thompson clearly not braking in time and collecting the Italian out of the way. Now in 14th and 15th place. But I think a penalty that will hang out from the window for the British driver. So for now this battle still stays like this. Emilio Ingrosso is still the leader of the race after the overtake on the inside alla Quercia. Through the Curvone. And then it's... Oh, I think Sauter went definitely not in the correct racing line. Because now that 46 is about to make an overtake on the inside al Curvone. Maybe some contact between the... Oh, it's Sauter off. Sauter is definitely not on track. Big off for Sauter. I want to see back what happened here. You can see the Honda going a bit too much on the inside and completely going off and spinning away. And it is, I won't say race over, but definitely not a good way to put it out. I mean, Romagnolo is went into the wall. Can I see if the 54 was involved in any incident of any matter? No, it wasn't. Okay, it wasn't needed, but I think he went off. Say, I think I know what happened, but I think it's too late too. We are Gonzalez here, maybe tries the overtake on the inside. Oh, he definitely works the inside because I think the BMW overshoot the braking, and it's side by side off 10 into 11. With Aston on the inside, the 216 having the right of the way against the 91 side by side between the two drivers, so not really sure where to go. And it's the Spaniard making the position. So Gonzalez back in first. And Ingrosso now in second. So battle for the lead has another shuffle between the two drivers. And now the hand goes on Ingrosso to try to take back the position. But while I was speaking, it is a very close battle behind, but we will not go there unless strictly necessary. I still see there the big grilled BMW getting very close, maybe a bit too much. I think the backing zone has been overshot a bit. There's been an overtake there for 7th place. I think him having definitely a terrible moment. Brown, sorry, having a terrible moment. You can see, in fact, there's been a switchback move for 7th place by Matthew Ing, using Brown's mistake. Chiaramonte after the damage, I suppose. Or he... No, it was Romagnolo, sorry, he went into the gravel and then the wall. For now I want to stay here because it's very close between Chiaramonte and Otti. There are multiple battles on track. Then quite interested to see what will happen between Gonzalez and Ingrosso. Even if I think Gonzalez has the chance to take the win, Tessera going for a bit of a halt in this round, but I'm not really sure how much it will be impactful for his championship, considering the records he has currently beaten. I think now very close to Mihai after getting rid of Brown. Mihai having some troubles in the late stage of the race. $44.9 for Mihai, 44.6 for the British driver. Into turn 6. You can see how close he is now. I think he can go for an overtake on the inside of La Quercia. He goes for the outside because Mihai defends the inside. And, but as a driver I would fake it out, to be honest. Because Misano is very much a matter of putting the car correctly, not dive bombs. So faking in Misano is the perfect tactic, in my opinion. You can really fake every single move and go along with it. There are multiple spots to do so. La Quercia is one. This one too. For now, Ing very close. Very close. He's basically reading the chassis number from the diffuser of Mihai. Thank you, Jeff, for being useful as always. Oh, I think the Aston Martin number 26 has been employed as a SpaceX emergency rocket ship, because he went over the curb and he went flying, sparking away, seeming like a rocket ship. For now, the 26 is still there, very close, but still there. Into turn 6, be aware of track limit! The rear wasn't approving the racing line, and now the 17 can brave a bit, not too much, but he can brave. Because now Ing is 8 times away from Mihai, but this gives Ing the effective chance to put the gap back. Meanwhile, Harry Hottie and Riccardo Chiaramonte are in a bit of a battle. for 10th, top 10. It's Italy against Finland. It's better right here. And they're lapping 46s. So a bit of a slow pace, but for the rookies, it's okay. I speak for a bit of a off-zoned. Still, the gap in front is very close. 9 times, 8 times, 1.2 seconds. Matthew Ing again. Using a bit too much the track and going too much on the curve. It's 3 minutes and something to go, which means 3 laps to go, I suppose. And Brown is off! Oh, Brown is into the grass. Something clearly has happened here. You can see from the interior. He was behind Ing, and then I think one of the curb unsettles the car. Yep, it was the first one. And again, La Variante, he unsettled the car and had the consequences of his actions. That's what happens when you don't set dampers soft for the curbs, or even the anti-roll, but it depends on the setup. Chiaramonte is now very close. Oh, that's a crash. That's not very close. That's definitely too much close. And now Chiaramonte is not really facing the correct way. You can see back what happened. He was on the inside. He was trying it inside. Maybe too optimistic, or maybe Hottie was trying to defend inside as much as possible. But now the 721 is not really. Was not really pointing the right way. As now Thompson and Sauter may create until but in the very last laps. It's 2 to go. And it is now Zilio very close to Boucher for the podium. For the podium position. As now Mari and Brown are kind of one after the other. Literally, oh, a bit of contact between the drivers. And I think Mari wants to have the position, but I think Brown wants to keep it more. He's not really keen to give it away. So now, Zillian and Boucher may create a very good battle here. It's a way. It's definitely a way, but usually for the carbon, etc., you can. It's quite easy. It's usually the same. Fast dampers all the way down, or slow. It depends on how you feel the carbs. But most of the times it's the rear fast dampers, very soft. That's the trick. Or the anti-roll bar very soft too. But the anti-roll bar are a bit of a thing. Like, you don't really want to mess with them too much, at least. There's been an incident. Some contact between here. It shows me an incident that has happened. Oh, there's been Sauter defending the inside as much as possible with Thompson trying the best he could. Meanwhile, Mihai and Ing are effectively in the battle on the very last lap, with Mihai on the inside La Variante. Defends the inside, keeps the inside, so this gives Ing the chance for a possible switchback. But the chance doesn't happen for real. For now, at least. That's for 6th place, but I think La Quercia, it means no, okay, because Mihai defends the inside, stays very close to the inside, very narrow racing line for the Aston Martin driver, 2 times in front of the British driver. And the 26 has to kinda go through alternative methods to try to get a position. I don't think it will happen in this lap as we go over the first 2 drivers, because it's going to be the Spanish driver in 1st place to finish. Did I miss something? I think I think Ingrosso got a drive-through. And there's been a contact there. Oh no, what is happening? So Gonzalez in first, Ingrosso in the pits. And Mihai and Ing having an incident, but Fernando Buscher is going to be third with Zilli in fourth, Markov in fifth, Mihai in sixth, Ing in seventh. And I missed something. Ingrosso drive-through, yeah, I suspected. So Ingrosso had a drive-through at the very last moment. So we'll see the leaderboard afterwards. I think here there is also a battle ongoing. It's Chris Sauter and Chiaramonte having a bit of a blast. But Sauter maintains the 13th place. So it was Brown in 8th, Lucamari in 9th, Ott in 10th, Ongar in 11th, Thompson in 12th, Sauter in 13th, 14th for Chiaramonte, De Bortoli in 15th, Romagnolo, then Stewart and Longden. But I want to see back the incident that has happened between a lot of us, to be honest. Think it was this one here. So you can see Matthew Ing trying the best he could, bumping off the Aston Martin in front of him, and kind of have to settle behind. Give out the standing, thank you, what? So Ingrosso had a drive-through at the very last moment, and this put him in 11th place. So Gonzalez and Buscher are the first two, and then Zilli in third. So Buscher goes in the podium finally, without having troubles with incidents, with Marco in fourth and Mihai keeping the 5th place. But I want to see, there's been a contact here for a position. It was Sauter and I think it was, oh, definitely, yeah. It was the Beamer. It was Thompson having another drive-through too. So Thompson and Ingrosso had a drive-through at the very last moments that kind of ruined their race, respectively. Putting one in 11th and the other in, thank you Windows Defender for ruining my ears. Ingrosso in 11th and Thompson in 18th place. So the first race had a triple podium, the second, the triple way Italian podium. The second one had a Spanish driver, a German driver, and an Italian in the first 3 places, with the Aston in an Aston sandwich. So F2 finish a nice one, mate. So Chris Buescher goes effectively in second with Zilli in third, and this was the race for tonight. Definitely a very interesting one to see the list. The last one has been. So how will can we settle? So for tomorrow we'll stay at Misano for the real weather, and if it is the same as here, which is not that far from Misano, it's going to be okay, quite sunny, nothing too much. So be sure to check out for the Pros in the Yard tomorrow evening for the Pros and the AM in Twitch and YouTube. A bit enjoy your P2, mate. Enjoy the first of many. I have to go, ciao. I forgot I had the race. Oh, I didn't practice, mate. Okay, I will do so. Okay, bye. I have to move. So thank you a lot for joining me tonight. And I will see you tomorrow evening for the Pulsing Gear, or next week for, again, another round on Tuesday. But anyway, wherever you are in the world, good evening and good night, and see you all next time. Bye!